All right, so today we are diving into this AI marketing thing with Hive-Powered AI, and wow, you've sent us a ton of stuff on them.
It is interesting what they're trying to do, though,
Yeah.
helping businesses that are maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all the digital marketing stuff out there,
Yeah, like trying to keep up with all of it.
especially in like staffing insurance, those sorts of industries.
Right, and it seems like they're really going all in on this whole AI thing too. Like their tagline is "Become limitless."
Yeah, what does that even mean, right?
I mean, it sounds cool, but like, what does that actually look like for a small business owner?
Right. Are you suddenly going to be Amazon?
Yeah, exactly. So how are they actually helping people become limitless?
Well, they talk about this two-pronged approach on their website.
Okay, so what's the first prong?
First, you've got Automate AI, which is their AI-powered automation platform. And it's all about, taking care of those repetitive tasks that eat up so much time.
Like, what kinds of tasks are we talking about?
We're talking social media posts, email marketing,
Uh-huh.
even A/B testing for your ads.
It's like having a robot marketing assistant.
Kind of, yeah. Except it's not just about doing the tasks. It's about analyzing data and actually optimizing your campaigns in real time.
So you're not just automating, you're actually improving as you go.
Exactly. And this data-driven approach is really key for them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's not all about the AI, right?
Right. They also emphasize the importance of human expertise.
Okay, so where do humans fit into this whole AI marketing picture?
That's where their sidekick model comes in.
Sidekick. Okay, now I'm intrigued. So are these sidekicks like specialized freelancers that you can hire?
In a way, yes, but it's a bit more than that.
Okay, I'm listening.
So you hire a sidekick with expertise in a specific area like SEO or social media, and they become your point person.
So far, so good.
But here's the twist. They're also part of this larger hive of marketing specialists.
So it's like having a whole marketing team on call.
Exactly. Need a landing page design, but your main sidekick focuses on SEO? No problem. They tap into the hive, bring in a designer, and boom, you've got a custom-designed landing page that's also optimized for search engines.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I like how they're combining human expertise with these AI tools.
And to make it even more efficient, they have this massive 10,000 prompt AI library that all the sidekicks can access.
So it's all about streamlining workflows and making sure everything's consistent. It
Exactly.
really makes you wonder about the dynamics of that whole collaboration, though.
Yeah, how does that really work in practice?
Right, because we've talked about the sidekicks, but they offer a ton of other services too.
They do. Their website mentions everything from chatbots to branding, even automated songwriting.
It's almost like they're trying to be a one-stop shop for all things marketing.
Well, they do seem to be focusing on small to medium-sized businesses.
Which makes sense, because those are the businesses that often struggle to afford big marketing teams or agencies.
Exactly. They even say they're 10 times better than HubSpot and Salesforce at a fraction of the cost.
Wow, that's a bold claim.
It is, and we'll definitely have to unpack that a bit.
Yeah, let's talk pricing. Because if they're really that much better and cheaper, then sign me up.
Well, their website highlights two main pricing plans for their Automate AI platform. You've got the Orbital Boost at $397 per month and the Galaxy Pioneer at $597 per month.
Okay, so definitely less than what you'd pay for HubSpot or Salesforce.
Right. And they really emphasize that there are no hidden fees.
I do appreciate transparency with pricing.
And if you're ready to commit, they offer discounted annual plans too.
That makes sense. But as with any good deal, the devil's in the details, right?
Exactly. We need to look at what each plan actually includes and what the limitations are.
And more importantly, do these AI-powered tools and this whole hive mind thing actually deliver real results?
That's the million-dollar question. And to answer that, we need to go beyond the marketing hype and see what actual users have to say.
Let's do it. Let's see if Hive-Powered AI lives up to the hype.
So speaking of real-world results, let's talk about this Orion AI chatbot thing.
Okay.
Because I gotta say, the idea of a chatbot that not only answers customer questions 24/7, but can actually book appointments for you,
Right.
it almost sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, it does sound pretty futuristic.
So is this really the future of customer engagement, or is this just like sci-fi fantasy land?
I think it's definitely a glimpse into the future. And Hive-Powered AI is very open about the fact that they're using technology from OpenAI and Google to build Orion.
Okay, so we're talking about some serious AI powerhouses here.
Exactly. These are major players in the AI world, so that lends some credibility to their claims.
Right. It's not like they're just some random company making big promises.
Exactly.
And they actually show Orion in action on their YouTube video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't just feed it easy questions either. They even have someone ask, what on earth is HivePowered AI? Is this some Elon Musk stuff?
That's pretty funny.
Right. Like they're trying to throw it off. So how does it handle that?
It actually handles it really well.
Wow.
It gives a clear, concise explanation of their services.
Wow. So it can understand those kinds of questions.
Yeah, and then it gets even weirder. They hit Orion with, "But my dog died."
Oh.
Out of nowhere. Talk about a curveball.
Right. So what's the chatbot going to say to that?
I don't even know.
It actually expresses condolences.
No way.
Yeah, and then seamlessly pivots back to offering assistance.
That's impressive.
I know, right? It's like they program this chatbot to have empathy,
That's pretty wild.
and it even offers to set up a meeting with the CEO.
So it's like having a really persistent but also very sensitive salesperson on hand 24/7.
Exactly. And I can see how that would be super appealing to busy business owners.
Especially in those fast-paced industries. They're targeting like staffing.
Right, because if you're running a staffing agency, you're dealing with a million things at once.
Applications, inquiries, scheduling headaches.
Exactly. And Orion could be there after hours answering those basic questions, scheduling interviews so you don't miss any leads. Makes sense.
And it frees you up to focus on the bigger picture stuff.
It's all about working smarter, not harder, right?
Exactly. And this whole idea of streamlining workflows ties into their Automate AI platform too.
Right, because it's not just about automating individual tasks, it's about connecting everything.
Yeah, and their video about Automate AI, Ben Baker, the founder, he talks about how traditional marketing agencies nickel and dime you for every little thing.
Yeah, I've definitely been there.
It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Right, and then you get the invoice and it's like, what did I even spend all that money on?
Exactly. And Automate AI is supposed to solve that problem by giving you one central hub for everything.
Okay, so what all can you do with it?
Let's see, you can schedule social media posts, set up email drip campaigns, manage ad campaigns across different platforms.
So basically everything you need to run your marketing.
Yeah, and they have this AI ads feature that uses AI to optimize your ad campaigns.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like having a whole team of marketing experts working for you, but without the massive price tag.
That sounds pretty ideal.
Right. And speaking of price tags, they make a pretty bold comparison to companies like HubSpot and Salesforce.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
They claim to be 10 times better at a fraction of the cost.
Okay, that's a big statement.
It is, but we'll get into the actual pricing later.
Right.
For now, let's focus on those real-world results,
Okay, sounds good.
because we need to see if they can actually back up those claims.
Exactly. Testimonials are a good place to start.
Yeah, let's see what actual customers are saying about HivePowered AI. All right, let's dive into these top-notch connections and see what people are actually saying about HivePowered AI.
Sounds good.
Okay, so first up, we've got Louis F. from Rockland, California.
Okay.
He was apparently juggling multiple marketing services, feeling totally overwhelmed, and then boom, HivePowered. AI comes in, saves the day.
That's what they like to hear.
Right. He says their platform and his sidekick helped him get way better results while saving time and money.
Isn't that the dream?
Seriously. Okay, then we have Tim C., who runs a healthcare staffing business.
Okay, healthcare staffing.
Yeah, and he specifically calls out their expertise in marketing automation and AI.
Interesting.
He says it helped him streamline his candidate marketing and get more leads.
Makes sense.
And get this, he even thanks them for helping him with this super specific thing called A2P 10DLC verification with Twilio.
Okay, now that is getting into the weeds.
I know, right? Like they really went above and beyond for him.
Okay.
Last but not least, we have Thomas G. from Salt Lake City.
Okay, Thomas G.
And he talks about starting a new business and feeling totally lost when it came to marketing.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Totally. And he was worried about having to hire a bunch of different marketing people.
Yeah, that can get expensive.
Exactly. But then he found Hive-Powered AI, and he's singing their praises.
So what did he like about them?
He loved the whole flexible marketing sidekicks thing and the hive-minded pros.
Okay, so it sounds like they definitely helped him out.
Yeah, he says they helped him define his brand message and come up with a solid marketing strategy.
That's great. But you know, it's interesting. All these testimonials are super positive.
Yeah, that's true.
And they definitely highlight the successes, but it's important to remember that this is just one side of the story.
Right. It's like reading those glowing 5-star reviews online.
Exactly. You get a general sense of the experience, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes.
Totally. So how do we balance out all this enthusiasm with a little bit of healthy skepticism?
Well, we have to ask the tough questions. Like, were there any challenges along the way?
Yeah.
Did these customers have any negative experiences?
Right, because no service is perfect.
Exactly. And it's important to consider the potential downsides that these testimonials might not be mentioning.
Good point. And speaking of things that might not be immediately obvious, Let's talk about their satisfaction guaranteed section.
Okay, what about it?
So they have these 4 guarantees: speed, quality, no hidden fees, and flexibility.
Okay, sounds pretty standard.
Yeah, on the surface they do. But I'm curious to hear your take on them.
Sure, let's break them down.
Okay, so first up, speed to need.
Right, so basically they're promising a fast turnaround time on marketing requests.
Which makes sense because they're trying to position themselves as the faster, more agile alternative to traditional agencies.
Exactly.
Okay, what about quality guarantee?
So this one basically assures customers that their team of marketing specialists and AI tools will deliver high-quality work that's aligned with their brand.
And they emphasize that the customer has final approval on everything.
Right, they want to make sure you're happy with the end result.
Intense.
Yeah.
So they're trying to address those common concerns about slow response times and work that doesn't quite meet expectations.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about the other 2 guarantees?
Well, no hidden fees is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, you pay for what you get, no surprises there.
Right. And then the flexibility guarantee basically acknowledges that business needs can change.
And they're saying they'll adapt to those changes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you need to pivot your marketing strategy, they're flexible.
Okay, so these guarantees all seem pretty reasonable, even if they are kind of what you'd expect from a reputable service.
Right.
But there's one claim that they make that I just can't ignore.
Oh, what's that?
Remember how they keep saying they're 10 times better than HubSpot and Salesforce at a fraction of the cost?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, it's a huge statement.
It's definitely attention grabbing.
And while their pricing does seem lower than those big companies, 10 times better, is so subjective.
Exactly. What does that even mean?
Right. It's like comparing apples and oranges.
Totally. And it's important to remember that every business has different needs and priorities.
Absolutely. What works for a small bakery might not work for a giant insurance company.
Exactly. So don't just blindly trust a claim like that, no matter how tempting it sounds.
Right. Do your research, compare features and pricing, and figure out what's actually best for your specific situation.
And don't forget to factor in things like customer support and ease of use.
Yeah, those things matter too. So we've talked about Hive-Powered AI's AI tools, their sidekick model, their guarantees, and those bold claims. But I think it's time to step back for a second.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it's up to each individual business to decide if Hive-Powered AI is the right fit.
I agree.
We've given you the information. We've explored the pros and cons. Now it's time for you to do your own research and make an informed decision.
Exactly. Don't just jump on the AI marketing bandwagon because it's trendy.
Right. Figure out what your business actually needs and then see if Hive-Powered AI aligns with those needs.
And don't be afraid to shop around and compare them to other options out there.
Exactly. This is your marketing strategy we're talking about, so you want to make sure you're making the best decision for your business.
Absolutely.
Well said. That's a wrap on our deep dive into HivePowered AI.